Hello, everyone. My name is Zach Brown, and I'm a solutions architect here at IP Fabric. And today we're going to discuss how IP Fabric can help you with modern day security. In today's hybrid multi-vendor networks, even a small configuration change or blind spot can lead to serious security breaches, regulatory issues, or costly downtime. Traditional tools often fall short. They're siloed, they're reactive, and struggle to provide the visibility and control that security teams need modern day to protect critical infrastructure. That is why security teams are turning to IP Fabric, our powerful automated network assurance platform that gives security engineers and their leadership teams the insight, context, and validation needed to proactively harden the network, respond faster, and stay compliant. In this short video, we'll show you how IP Fabric can help solve critical security use cases with real-world examples to help you shift from a reactive firefighting approach to a proactive, stable, scalable network security approach. So first, let's talk about enforcing zero trust at scale. So security and even zero trust requires you to know exactly what's talking to what across every part of your network. IP Fabric automatically maps out all paths between your users, devices, and applications, and validates segments and uncovers unauthorized access. So we're able to highlight violations of least privilege policies, even across multi-vendor environments. Just to show you a demonstration here of that, here is a portion of the diagram you just seen, which is a end-to-end path flow. So I'm able to validate each hop along the way of how my packet is moving from source to destination. So as I click on my first switch here, you're able to see some of that packet logic, as well as the decision table in the middle of the screen. Now, if you notice here, as I get to my first layer 3 switch, now I'm able to see the routing decisions that come into play. Even further down the line, I have two firewalls, one in red, one in green. The firewall in red is notifying me that something is blocking my traffic. And if I look at my decision table, my access control policy is red with this lock. So it's telling me that something is blocking. And as I click into my access control policy, I can see the exact access control entry that's blocking my traffic. And even on down the path, I have my firewall here in green. And as I right click and click explore, I'm able to see that my traffic is able to flow through that firewall. So full end to end, hop by hop of validation, even if it's on-prem or moving to a cloud infrastructure or different cloud provider. Now that moves us into our next point, which is cloud and hybrid security. Most organizations today run a mix of on-prem, cloud, and even container-based workloads, which really makes gaining visibility into those different areas a much bigger challenge. With IP Fabric, you have complete end-to-end map of your entire network, whether it's on-prem or in that hybrid environment, as we mentioned before. So even if you have cloud infrastructure, IP Fabric gives you visibility into that cloud infrastructure, including access between paths, between cloud and internal systems, firewall traversal, as well as any policy validation. Next, we're going to talk about accelerating incident response. So time matters during a breach. You need to know what happened, how it spread, and are you still at risk? And you need to know as soon as possible. IP Fabric lets you trace the full path of connections across any vendor or domain using historical snapshots. This makes it easy to validate whether malicious traffic has reached key systems or stayed isolated. With IP Fabric, you also have dynamic documentation of device configurations. You always have your last starting point in case of disaster for all of your network devices, giving you additional peace of mind. Just to show you an example of that quickly, I'm able to take a host name in my environment and then compare it between 2 points in time. And I'm able to see exactly what changed in my configuration. What's in the green is currently what's in the snapshot, and red in the previous snapshot. So I'm able to get a holistic approach as I have an incident. What changed from a configuration standpoint? One SOC team used IP fabrics mid-incident to determine that ransomware had not reached their domain controllers. This gave leadership confidence to isolate and recover without taking down the entire network or removing it offline. Next, we're going to talk about strengthening threat detection and automation systems. So threat detection systems like a SIM or a SOAR, they need clean contextual network data to work effectively. Now, if you notice, as I pull up my developer's console in IP Fabric, and as I click through the platform, you may notice the exact API calls that IP Fabric is making in order to pull in my data here. So with IP Fabric, the API calls which make IP Fabric's discovery snapshots information easily ingestible into other security systems for a more robust picture and analysis of your architecture. IP Fabric integrates into these platforms to provide detailed, normalized topologies as well as path data. This enhances our alert accuracy, enriches the investigation, and enables faster automation. So if you're using a SIM like Splunk or maybe an LStack, IP Fabric can serve as a ingestion point in order to enrich that data, enrich those alerts, and enrich those tickets. Next, we're going to discuss compliance and audit readiness. Compliance and being audit ready is of key importance today, whether it's PCI, NIST, ISO, or your own internal policies. Compliance requires continuous validation, not just checking annual checkboxes. And here at IP Fabric, our product can align with your internal or those organizational compliance standards. So IP Fabric, just as an example, I have here my dashboard specifically created for NIST 2. So I have all of my verifications with corresponding widgets, as well as where in my compliance standards these requirements were released and how we align to those. If PCI compliance is of importance to you, IP Fabric can align with those specific requirements that are of interest of your network, and that can help you pass those audits. So IP Fabric continually analyzes your network for risky services, configuration drift, once again, policy violations, and making sure your segmentation policies are accurate and aligned. So you're always audit ready automatically. Next, we're going to talk about our final point, which is reducing security overhead. So security doesn't always have to mean complexity. IP Fabric, once again, automates discovery, gathers that context, and then validates across your entire network, cutting down manual work, jumping from tool to tool. IP Fabric continuously analyzes your network for those risky services, configuration drift, and once again, keeping you audit ready. One Fortune 100 company we work with, we help reduce their security investigation workload by 60% by using IP Fabric to automate access mapping, context enrichment, and do those compliance checks without adding additional headcount or tooling. So instead of manually pulling configs, running trace routes, checking device ACLs individually, security analysts can instantly see all end-to-end paths between 2 points, which security controls have traversed, what policies, NATs, even what encryption were implied, and whether least privilege or compliance policies were violated. This helps SOC analysts and security engineers validate exposure, understand the risk, and confirm segmentation in minutes, not hours. So IP Fabric gives you the visibility and context to secure every corner of your network before an attacker can find a way in. From zero trust enforcement to hybrid visibility to faster incident response and compliance, your team gets the data and control they need to protect what matters, what's critical to your organization. And for leaders, this means fewer breaches, better audit outcomes, and reduce operational costs, all with a stronger security posture. So, do you want to see how IP Fabric can help strengthen your network security? Please book a demo or start a free trial at ipfabric.io. Thank you for your time.